Bradford City continue their 2025-26 League One campaign with a trip to Dave Challoner's Stockport County, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season, what my starting 11 would be for this game if I was Graham Alexander. My team Bradford City then, we currently sit 6th in the League One table. After 3 matches we've got 2 wins, 1 draw and 0 defeat, scoring 4 goals and also conceding 2, which leaves us on a positive 2 goal difference and at 7 points. Our last 5 matches then have been a win, a draw and a win. Them last couple of matches then being a 2-1 victory at home to Luton Town, a real statement win for Bradford City. Not just a win, a performance to go with it as well. There is nobody that I fear coming to Valley Parade this season. We've seen it already with a few pretty good wins at home against teams that you'd expect to be up there come the end of the campaign, but in this one thoroughly did deserve the 3 points, and yeah, just a great way to continue a good start to the season. On Tuesday we had a 2-1 victory away at Blackburn Rovers. Yes, they put the pressure on in the second half, but a great start from us, going 2-0 up inside 4 minutes. It's hard to really tell the quality of that Blackburn squad because they did make a lot of changes, but even us, we made I think 5 or 6 changes in the starting 11 as well. We had more shots on target than Blackburn, and Sam Walker produced some really good saves in that game. We also had a frustrating 0-0 draw away at Northampton Town. This definitely should have been a game which ended in 3 points for Bradford City. We just lacked that clinical nature in front of goal, which we've not really struggled with so far this season, so no real concerns from me there. Our away form last season was a big problem, but we should have won this away game if we are all being completely honest. And we also had a 2-1 win at home to Wycombe Wanderers. Again, a great start in this one. It's been something we've seen quite a lot so far this season, where we start faster than the opposition, going 2-0 up inside the first 15 minutes. They're obviously in a bit of a transition period at the moment. They didn't really know the future of Richard Coney at the time. We conceded a pretty poor, sloppy goal to get Wycombe back into that one, but again, we ground it out. We've got a lot of experience in our side, and I wouldn't say I'm feeling confident going into this game against Stockport, as we'll get onto in a moment, but we've got nothing to fear. Just go there, play our game, and who knows what could happen. In terms of Stockport County then, they've had a very similar start to the season as ourselves. They currently sit 4th in the League One table. After 3 matches, they've got 2 wins, 1 draw and 0 defeat, scoring 6 goals and conceding 3. It leaves them on a positive 3 goal difference and 7 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a draw, a win and a win. Them last couple of matches then been a 2-2 draw away at Leyton Orient. Now, they were 2-0 up in this game, but threw it away in the second half, and on the balance of play, probably were lucky to come away from the game with just a point. They didn't really play that well, and I wouldn't say they played particularly well in any of their opening games so far. I watched pretty much the full match against Bolton, and I thought despite the win, Bolton were probably the better side in that game, and their quality is shining through at the moment, but their underlying performances are not really there to be seen. Leyton Orient dominated possession in that one. Obviously, Orient scored with both of their shots on target. 2 well-taken goals, to be fair, but Stockport will be very disappointed to throw away a 2-goal lead. They also had a 3-1 victory at home to Crewe at Alexandra. Total domination, really, from Stockport, just showing their class and the difference, really, between the two sides. Stockport with complete domination, and even though they largely did change their starting 11 for this game, only really the likes of Norwood, Connolly and Pye, I would say, going to be regular starters in the league. Obviously, you've got Wootton and Lowe up front. I think O'Keefe's played quite a lot, so maybe there's not that many changes, to be honest with you, but the likes of Owen Bailey, Lewis Fiorini, Danny Andrew, Ben Hinchliffe, I don't want to get his name wrong, there's obviously been some changes in that team, and looking at the Crewe side, I would say there was quite a lot of changes in that one, so an expected win really for Stockport in that one. They also had a 2-1 win away at Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe obviously put the pressure on in the second half. I think they missed a penalty as well, but Stockport got both of their goals, went 2-0 up and then just defended on that. Looking at the stats from the game, Wycombe were certainly the better side, as has been a bit of a telling thing throughout this season so far for Stockport, but their quality shone through and they did get the job done. And they started out the campaign then with that 2-0 win at home to Bolton, scoring with only 2 shots on target, only 5 shots in the game as well from Stockport. Bolton had a lot of really good chances, maybe should have had a penalty as well in that first half, but obviously Stockport's first goal was a little bit of luck, and the second one is a great crossing, to be fair, from Danny Andrew and a textbook Kyle Wootton header. So Stockport, in terms of results, have had a good start to the season, but performances, I'm sure Dave Challoner will be looking for a lot better in this one, and that does concern me going into tomorrow, because his post-match interview, he was absolutely fuming, so they're going to get a reaction on Tuesday, and of course we have to kind of be the punching bag for that one. Before we do go any further though with today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 150 likes on today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What is your score prediction for this match? What would your starting 11 be as well? Let's move on then to my team selection for this game. If I was Graham Alexander, I certainly would stick with the 3-4-2-1 formation. It served us very well last season, served us very well so far this campaign as well. So for me, I would certainly stick with that formation. In goal, I would stay with Sam Walker. I thought the goal that I was going to say Crew scored, that Luton scored on Saturday. There's not a lot that he can really do about that. It's just a great header from the Luton player, and apart from that, didn't really have much to do. Had a couple of late saves to make, but I think a lot of it was very routine. Was very good on Tuesday, and I would say on the whole has had a positive start to the season. Kept a clean sheet in our only away game in the league this campaign as well, so hopefully he can do that once again in this one. In terms of my back three then, at right centre back, I would stick with Matt Pennington. I had a few concerns about Pennington in a couple of his earlier games, but on Saturday I thought really went under the radar, and it's nice to see him getting a lot of praise on social media because he plays a big part in our second goal, wins that ball with a very aggressive press, and I think has done very well on the whole. He's kind of gone under the radar a bit because he's just done his job, been a very solid 7 out of 10 so far, and for me personally, I think when you look at how many goals Blackpool have been conceding so far, it's no idea why they've decided to get rid of Pennington, because he has looked very solid. In the middle, I would stick with Aidan Baldwin. Now obviously Joe Wright is going to miss the next couple of games as he missed on Saturday through the concussion protocol. He should hopefully be back for Tuesday, but that's obviously a big blow. But Aidan Baldwin I thought was pretty solid on the whole on Saturday. In terms of defensive abilities, I thought was quite good. Passing, there was a few strays at times, playing the odd blind ball into midfield or just going off the pitch, which you might expect with Baldwin because of how he plays. And I think if we're going to criticise him for a few of them bad passes, let's also praise him for his part that he plays in the first goal. A brilliant switch to, I think, either Torre or Poynton. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but I think that's certainly gone under the radar a little bit, and for me, he should stay in this side. At left centre-back, I would stick with Curtis Till. He has been outstanding so far, deserves a lot of credit, and has gotten a lot of credit so far. So aggressive, and I think if we're going to deal with the threat of Kyle Wootton, we need Curtis Till man marking him. Anytime a ball's coming into the box, get Till on him, because he can certainly match Kyle Wootton for physicality. Pennington and Baldwin I think might struggle a little bit, but Till is the one that for me, if we're going to do a man-marking job on Wootton, let it be Curtis Till. In terms of my midfield four then, at right wing-back, I would stick with Josh Nerfell. I thought he was very good on Saturday against one of his former clubs in Luton Town. Gets the assist for our second goal as well. Great cross into the box, and I thought on the whole was just really, really good again on Saturday. So definitely deserves to keep his place in the side. You got people like Brad Halliday not even being able to make it in the matchday squad at this moment in time because of how good that Josh Nerfell has been. In terms of my two central midfielders then, firstly I would go with the captain, Max Power. Thought again on Saturday really, really good. I'm pretty sure he's played every competitive minute so far in a Bradford City shirt, and you can clearly see that he is a level above Smallwood in pretty much every department. You all know how big of a fan I was of Richie Smallwood, but Max Power for me has come in and he's just made that position his own. He's been an absolutely outstanding captain so far and definitely deserves to start. Partnering him, I would have a change in here. I would bring in Jensen Metcalf. I feel like Tommy Lee, again, it's nothing to do with Tommy Lee playing poorly, because I thought on Saturday, again, very, very good, winning his duels in there. But you look at the Stockport midfield and they're much more mobile and less physical. So I think that they're the sort of games where you bring in a Jensen Metcalf or maybe even Alex Patterson as well. But Metcalf massively impressed me against Blackburn Rovers. He'll also put himself about a bit. But when you think of the likes of Ollie Norwood, Owen Moxon, for example, they're much more technical players rather than physical bruisers. So we try and match them up with the technicality in Jensen Metcalf. But again, if Tommy Lee gets the nod again, I have absolutely no complaints with that. And as my left wing back, I would stick with Ibu Torre, obviously former Stockport County man. For me, has been brilliant on the whole so far. Scored a great goal on Tuesday against Blackburn. On Saturday, again, so good defensively. There won't be many people that beat him 1v1, and he's got Curtis Stilt behind him. We've got a very solid left-hand side defensively, and even going forward, Stockport fans are very critical of Torre going forward, but he's been great so far, and yeah, definitely deserves to keep his place in the side. Obviously will do, because Lewis Richards is unfortunately injured at this moment in time, but even if he was available, I think he really would struggle to get back into this side because Torre has been outstanding. Into my front three then, firstly, as my right attack midfielder, I would stick with Anthony Sarsfick. Again, another former Stockport County man, and I'm sure he'll get a great reception from the Stockport fans. Played a big part in their promotion a couple of years ago, but we all know the quality that Sars has got. I think he's getting better and better as the season is going on. Was pretty solid on the whole on Saturday. A lot of very nice one one touches and all that sort of stuff. If we're going to play on the counter, I don't really think he's the best option because obviously he does lack a bit of pace, but in terms of quality, experience, going away to Stockport on a Tuesday night is not an easy place to go to. We're going to need as much experience in this team as possible, so Sars for me would keep his place in the side. And as my left attacking midfielder, I would stick with Bobby Poynton. I thought he was outstanding on Tuesday. He didn't play on Tuesday. I thought he was outstanding on Saturday against Luton. Probably his best performance of the season so far. I wouldn't say he'd had an amazing start to the season. He'd been good, but I wouldn't say he'd massively set the world alight. On Saturday, though, even if you take the goal away, I thought he was so good. He's brilliant at keeping the ball, maintaining possession, creating chances, one-touch football. He is outstanding, and obviously, he has got a couple of goals so far this campaign. I thought the last league away game against Northampton, he did struggle a little bit, so maybe he's the man for home games and not necessarily the man for away games, but it's up to him now to step up once again, as he has done so many times in a Bradford City shirt, and prove me and a couple other people wrong who maybe questioned his away performances, but he was very good on Saturday and definitely deserves to start once again. And as my striker, I would stick with Stephen Humphreys. There's obviously a big debate whether it should be Humphreys, whether it should be Swan. You know, maybe one plays at home, one plays away, but Humphreys probably does deserve to start again, having scored his first Bradford City goal on Saturday against Luton. He's not going to score many easier than that. Open goal for him, a yard out, just taps it into the back of the net, but hopefully he can cause the Stockport defence a few problems. And even if he doesn't, you bring somebody of the quality of Will Swan off the bench. There is a lot of quality in the starting 11 and in the squad. I'm very happy with our recruitment, and pretty much whichever player plays, I'm fully behind Alexander's decision. On the bench then for me, that would leave Joe Hilton, Brad Halliday, Kieran Kelly, Alex Patterson, Tommy Lee, Nick Powell and Will Swan. At the time of recording, Nick Powell hasn't officially been confirmed, but by all accounts he did actually sign his paperwork on Friday and should hopefully be involved in the matchday squad tomorrow. Whether he actually makes it onto the bench or not, but he's been training with Bradford City for a fair few weeks now, so hopefully he is available for selection in this one. And obviously we've got a very strong bench again. There's a lot of very good players missing out of the matchday squad at this moment in time. The players currently unavailable are Neil Byrne, obviously former Stockport man, Joe Wright, Lewis Richards, obviously had plenty of interest from Stockport in the summer. Callum Kavanagh, I actually thought he'd be back available for the Northampton game, but he's not even back in full training yet, so I massively misread or misheard Graham Alexander's comments regarding Kavanagh. But I think even if he was available, do you drop him for Humphreys? Do you drop him for Swan? I think he'd struggle to get into the squad at this moment in time. Obviously Andy Cook has been back in full training for a little bit now, and hopefully he'll be back for around October time. People saying he'll be back for Huddersfield. I think they're very, very thankful wishing for that. I don't think he'll be back for another month or so after that one. So the players who miss out then through selection will be Zach Hady, George Goodman, Tyreek Wright, who I thought was good against Blackburn but missed a fair few chances against Luton on Saturday. You could maybe have him on the bench, I guess, over Brad Halliday. Also missing out would be George Lapsley, Clark Adore, Adam Wilson and Tyler Smith. Still no new clubs found for Wilson or Smith, but surely something's got to be done before the end of the transfer window. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, can we try and hit 150 likes as I mentioned at the start of today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Do you agree or disagree with my starting 11? Would you make any changes from that? And what is your score prediction as well? You can head over to more SHD to find out all of my score predictions for tomorrow's matches. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one.